what would I do if I was starting a business from scratch in the world of AI? I'm going to show you today. Basically, I'm going to be peeling the curtain back on a concept that we have direct to consumer bullet journal that we're starting with the goal of generating about 10,000 a month in passive income. Okay. Now, this journal concept is actually something I use in my personal life, and I've decided to productize it. Like many of us, we have something that we're good at that works. We turn it into a product or a service. That's what we're doing here today. But I have no LLC formed, I have no operating agreement, I have no EIN number. So, what's the first thing that I would do? Well, for me personally, the first thing that I have done and will do is I will take a business through an accelerated uh, venture studio model. And so, what a venture studio model is basically a venture studio seeks problems that are happening for companies, and then they aim to build their own startup that solves the problems that they've identified in other companies. What I like about the venture studio model is that it allows you to quickly go through, create a problem statement, start to identify some value proposition, do competitive analysis, market research, user personas, a slew of things that over the course of 3 to 6 months would allow you to understand if you have an idea that's worth keeping or killing. In today's world with AI, though, there are some tools out there where you can go through that same 3 to 6 month process in about 45 minutes. And I'm going to show you one today. It's called ProdOps. Now, I'm personally connected to the owner of ProdOps, and I know they have a better version coming out here in the near future. But basically, what ProdOps is it's a prompt chain tool, meaning that you can pre-fill prompts with information, and then you can drop documents or context in those prompts in order for it to generate you a response within a specific framework. So today I'll be using the Venture Studio frameworks they're not all the same Venture Studio frameworks, but Venture Studios pretty much follow the same model. So I'll be using the frameworks that they use to provide information about my idea and getting some strong, tangible insights and information. What I love about using this tool and just in general about this process is number one, it condenses market research, competitive analysis, value proposition, and user persona into under an hour, which gives me the foundation I need for my marketing materials, for my business planning, for my financials, for my differentiators, just everything I could think of. Now, it's not a one-stop shop, right? You have to read through this information and figure out if it makes the most sense for you, but it's a great starting point. Number two, I use it in our Launchpad program. So once you have this information, it's a great base foundation for when you're building out more robust documentation if you already have your business in place and want to make appropriate tweaks and changes. And then last, it actually does a really good job of pulling in real world data, and it gives you access to all LLMs. So you don't have to have a Claude subscription or a chat subscription. You can choose which LLM you want to use as you're going through the prompt chain, and it will give you those insights, giving you access to a bundle of tools. Now, this will probably make more sense once you start seeing the video, but what we're going to end up doing here is I'm going to go through the Venture Studio model, and let me just show you really quickly what that ends up looking like. So we go through problem statement, idea napkin, value proposition, product requirements document, competitive research and analysis, user personas, market research, assumption finder, persona interview. Then we develop some landing pages, some Facebook ads, and some tweets. And again, I use all of this as helpful guide. I don't just copy paste the information I get from this into like my website or my ads, but it gives you a really strong foundation, helps you think different. And that's why I love to do this before I even invest any money into a company. So with that being said, I will go ahead and show you how this tool works. Let's get started. So as I mentioned, we're going to get started with our problem statement. Now, in ProdOps, for your problem statement, you simply need to type in what your problem statement is. So for GoBook, we're going to say, many people have lost touch with writing, and the power writing your goals down has on your ability to stay accountable and what else? And generate real progress due to digital addiction and pollution. Okay, so I have my problem statement written. Now what I'll do is I'll click generate, and what you'll see is it's now using that framework to generate my problem statement. It'll provide me with a problem statement, broad hypothesis, design challenge, and positioning statement. All things that you would need in order to kick off your next phase in the Venture Studio model. So I'll click save. I'll go up here really quickly. I want to change my name so I can quickly reference this document as I prompt chain. So I'll change this to Go Book Problem Statement. And then once I update that name, I'll hit save and I'll go back to my prompt library. Now I have all my Venture Studio prompts in my prompt library. So I'll go into there, go under ideation where I keep them all, and then I'll go to my next one, which will be idea napkin. So it says attach document. I'll actually grab my problem statement document I just saved from my previous prompt, and I'll hit generate. And it's that simple, y'all. Now it's going to go ahead and give me an idea napkin around the type of product I should build, what problem the product is solving, who it's solving it for, why that person cares, and what other solutions they might use instead of what I'm offering. Okay, this is really good information. I'll go ahead, review this information, make sure it looks good to me, go down below, I'll hit save per usual. If you do want to refine it, you can do that below where it says add optional adjustments, and then I'll save it. And then once I save it, it is stored with my other documents, and now I will go ahead and continue this process throughout all the steps I listed in the Venture Studio model. Now, as you can see, I put it on super fast forward because I'm not going to explain every single thing I'm going through just because I don't want to waste your time. But what you can see is it's very simple. It's minimal typing. You put in a couple different pieces of documentation and it generates you all the insights and information that you would need in that Venture Studio model, the particular one that we're referencing, in order to give you insights. This is a really powerful tool, y'all. I just want to take a second to acknowledge that. If you want to, I'll continue. I'm just going to keep fast forwarding until you can see it. If you want to pause and check out what we're doing, I'll let that all play out. But then I want to get into a little bit more about what we do after we generate all these documents. So some of the documents we're generating here, though, we've done our problem statement, we did our idea napkin, then we did our value proposition. You'll do a competitive analysis, which will give you real competitors who are in the space and how they're differentiating themselves. It'll actually do a little bit of user personas for you. So it'll come up with the actual personas of the people who may be interested in using your product, giving you age demographics and insights around their lives. It'll do some market research around the particular product that you are seeking to offer, and so forth and so on. So you do have to put a little bit of typing in here. But again, I say I probably type less than 100 words throughout this entire process. And it's giving me all the documentation I need. And each prompt is building off the previous prompt. All right. So I'm going to let this continue to fast forward really quickly. And then we'll pick back up. Or you can just fast forward and pick up where I show you how we store all the documents. All right. So now I've gotten all of my Venture Studio prompts complete. I'm going to start saving my documents. So I'll go through and in there I can hit download PDF. It'll download the PDF to my computer. I'm dropping it into my Google Drive folder. And I will repeat this process for all the documents that I have. And you can see here when I go into Project Artifacts, these are all the documents I've generated around this particular model for Gold Book Lite. So I'll download the PDF again. It'll download to my computer, and then I'll go ahead and I will drop that into my Google Drive folder. And then I'll just continue to download from there. So again, I'll quickly fast forward to speed through that process so you can see what it looks like once we get to the end here. So you'll see I'm dropping all these in. Now I'm getting all those things in which I prompted. I'm just going to quickly go through and open up a bunch of tabs so I can just download these all at once. Make it super quick. Operational efficiency, y'all. Go through here. Now I'm just downloading them each one by one. And I'll fast forward this a little bit. So you'll see I'm downloading all of these. And now I'm going to drop them all into my Google Drive folder. And basically, once I'm done with this, you'll see that I have a full drive full of the documentation that's necessary for me to really begin to build this concept out. Okay. So big idea here, y'all. Very powerful tool, but this is the first steps that we take. So what takes usually a company 3 to 6 months, we can do in about 45 minutes, lays a foundation for us to start validating the idea. I haven't even formed the LLC or business just yet because I want to see if there's any traction in the market before I go spend some money. And this helps me to do that. So with that in mind, I hope this was helpful. I look forward to sharing the next steps. Next steps, I'll be showing you how we set up our project guideline, document, and dashboard, and how we move a project to idea and planning all the way to finish. And we'll also be showing real progress and results on how this business is going. So, whether it goes good, bad, or sideways, you'll get to see it all happening live. So, appreciate y'all joining today. I'll be sharing out the next video in the coming days here. Peace.